No, it's not a rerun. Hi, everybody. It's Diane. I know we just had this book in the last video, but it was here, and like I said, there aren't a lot of empty pages, so let's just go to the next empty page, which is this one. And I have the didn't use it yet box here, and that's all I know. Well, that would match, except this is spring. I don't know. Can we live with that, or is that way too off season for some of us? Okay, how about that? Can you see that? It's a peacock, and I don't know if that's the actual photo or if it's been altered because, you know, it's so white looking. I don't know, but it's kind of cool. There. No. Just a little lesson. Busy, 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 busy doesn't work. At least not in my book. This box is getting bigger instead of fuller, instead of emptier. No. Nope. There were a couple other peacocks in here. I know I used one just the other day, but I want to say there was still another. I could be wrong. No, not you, Diane. Yeah. Oh, here. See? She wasn't wrong. Well, I'll leave it aside there. I don't really like it with that. To greet you. I don't think so, but see, that has enough solid in it to my eye that makes that acceptable, whereas that tree picture is just solid busyness. Well, I don't really like that either. It's a collage of stuff she didn't really like together. Too bad this money isn't real, huh? Well, I don't think we want old pattern looking things. All right, is that too busy to go with this? Borderline. It's not bad because of the white. Well, let's cut this out anyway. Do we want a stamp edge, or do we want to just cut that away? Or could cut it, you know, next to the stamp edge. Let's try that first. Now this is more spring-like, isn't it? have tulip leaves up. I don't think I've seen any buds yet. That's not bad. Listen to this. Let's work for Mother. Let's give her her hand. Let's work for Mother, and she'll understand. She's your greatest treasure. Just make her life a pleasure. Let's work for Mother dear. I think I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. It was a theme song to whatever show this was. What was it? The Horn and Hearted Children's Hour. It's a children's variety show. Okay. And I'm sure all those kids helped out even more after listening to that little jingle. Tiny sounds so sarcastic. Do I? Okay. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay. What else are you going to do with it? I have no idea. Not that. Not that. Need some kind of color or something up there. I think we're back to kind of busy. Let me bow down and get a magazine or two. All right, this one just came right up. Well, that huge light fixture that everyone has to have in their kitchen these days. Would that be something? Although, I'm gonna wait. I must say, the lighting in my kitchen stinks, so I guess I shouldn't criticize. So I told my husband a while ago, I said, you know, if we were standing in the kitchen. I said, if some professional decorator walked in here, the first thing they would say is, your lighting stinks. Well, Diane, do something about it. Yeah, okay, I'll move. The lighting in my kitchen was too stinky. I had to move. Wow, that's kind of cool. I'll hang that in my kitchen. Well, because I really want to cut out all these rings. Let's just take one and see what it would look like. Yeah, naturally that's kind of cool. Even at my kitchen I can hang pots from it or something, huh? Yeah, right. Okay, well, you get the gist of this, I guess. Am I going to gesso out the words there, that Great Mother Helper poem thing? We're going to need something on the bottom. Let's look quick for either, I don't know, a border or a word. We don't need that, Diane. I'll just finish this off. How about that? Well, there's more lighting. You can hang pots from that. Those things must be big. It kind of looks like you're being invaded, doesn't it? Yeah, I guess the lighting in Diane's house is very antiquated according to this stuff. Cool dragon. Where was that when I had my dragon page? Oh, there's those again. Actually, I thought this was kind of nifty. These next few pages, they have a drawing of the room and then what the room actually turns out to look like. But those drawings are pretty cool, I thought. Well, it could be a painting. See, here's on the bottom here. Kind of cool. Doesn't need to be perfect. Well, I like that. I don't know that it necessarily matches what we're doing, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to gesso out words and glue and come back and we'll have a big discussion. Okay, hang on. Okay, as you can tell, these ring things are not glued, and that's going to be hard to glue that too. I wasn't even thinking of that. They're not glued because that's not too impressive. This isn't glued because I wasn't sure, depending on what we do up here, it might change what we do down here. And then think about this too. Since it says, reads, doesn't need to be perfect, would it be funny to put it on an angle or, you know, cut it apart and have it funky, wonky? Think about that. Okay, so I'm thinking we need a color up under there. Yes, I can paint, but I thought of my mulberry papers. They're in this horribly crinkly bag. And I really have no idea. Do you want dark, dark? That's okay. All right, just to satisfy Diane and anybody that's really curious, if you want something lighter, which there isn't a lot of choice in this selection here. Yeah, I once said I was a little disappointed when this arrived at my door. I bought it online a long time ago, and it's just a lot of white and like tan. That's even better than white, but I think we could do better than that. No. No. Well, maybe just by choices we have to go with... See, I'm expecting a whole packet of stuff like this. I guess we'll use the Bugs Bunny quote, "Poor little maroon, so trusting, so naive." Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to cough. I don't know why. I don't have a cold or anything. These are also hard to pick up, I've discovered. Something's amiss here. And I did think of this. You know, now we have square, 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 square. Is that not too brainy? Well, maybe these things are the culprit, huh? If we had a color... we're playing in the other room. maybe we could cut the phrase apart and put that there. But then we need something down here. Such as not that. No. Maybe these should be cascading downward. And there were more of them. I only grabbed these 3 because I can't wait to cut out more and glue more. Okay, that's better. That's something. Oh, I kind of like that. Is it just a little too boring here? I'm not sure. Yeah, that would be better. Okay. Yeah, some of these are hard to tear because they're full of fibers. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. All right, I'm gonna pause, maybe cough again and glue. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I'm done. And sorry, I failed to mention in that last segment, I added these washi stickers because of the shape and because it's a stamp, the colors, it obviously needed something over here. Okay, it's a good thing it doesn't need to be perfect because this is kind of crooked, this is kind of crooked, this is kind of crooked. That is the best I could glue those. Yeah, if you're easily frustrated or a newbie or something, watch the really narrow stuff when you glue it. It's really hard to get it exactly how you want it because it's so thin, and if you futz around with it, it'll tear. And anyway, and I added another little mulberry paper thing over here because there was space. I think that's it. Normally, I might take a skinny black line around, kind of because of this, and kind of to draw it together, but there isn't one on this side, so I'm leaving it. I can always add it later if I decide it needs it desperately. Okay, I have to run off once again, folks, so this is it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day out there.